coast trip, and it's our 4th Australia video in total. After the boat trip, which is where we left off in the last video, we made our way up to Townsville and explored around there a bit, and then just carried on up the east coast really. And I'm not going to talk about everywhere that we went because that would be really boring.
Well, we went to a lot of places.
We did stop at a lot of places. Really amazing place outside Mission Beach. So some friends we met were doing a skydive there, and we pulled the back of the van up, and it was just us, and we had the whole beach to ourselves.
It's like what you expect when you think, oh, I'm gonna get a camper van, go around Australia, just pull up anywhere, really nice views. It was exactly that, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Just cook your lunch, swing the boot open, and I don't think we saw a single person.
I think we maybe saw one person when we were leaving, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favourite places. We then carried on going up, and we went, I think it's just outside, just south of Cairns we stayed to begin with, and we went to this awesome place called Kuranda. It's famous for its markets.
They say remain seated, you know, be careful, but as soon as the train gets going you can go and stand on the edge of each carriage.
And they tell you the history of it as you're travelling up. I saw those little pigs. I saw a nest of what looked like a warthog, like Pumbaa, and 3 little babies. It was just stunning, wasn't it? And so actually, good. In the rainforest, it's pretty much, it rained every night, and that was the only day I think we actually had rain in the morning.
It didn't rain every night, there was a monsoon every night.
Yeah, and then the whole time in Kuranda, it was just beautiful sunshine.
Yeah. Jimmy's Didges.
I'm gonna get it.
Jimmy's Didge. That is the place to go to get your didgeridoo from.
This is the one.
Look at the detail on it.
So we actually had no intention of buying a didgeridoo, and they are expensive, but actually they're a work of art and it's an instrument, so I think it's absolutely fair enough.
As soon as we saw it, we were in the shop for a good hour debating whether to get it or not, but we would have really kicked ourselves if we'd left without it,
and Jimmy was awesome. So there's something that we noticed, particularly in Cairns and around Cairns, was that there's a lot of, I don't know whether fraud is the right word. There's a lot of stuff that's out there for the tourists to buy, and it's made in China or
made in Indonesia.
Yeah, and actually Jimmy really made us aware of that, and he was saying how didgeridoos are such a big part of their culture, and actually they're like a sacred instrument. So to go and rip off their culture by someone copying their designs and then just selling it for a lot of money is actually, I mean, it's really bad.
Really bad.
So you have to, when you're in Australia and you're buying gifts for people or you're buying souvenirs, just be super careful and just make sure you know where it's come from. And we actually met the guy who's from the indigenous family that make the didgeridoo. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Charly and Will, good day. My name is Jimmy Dish, that's what they nickname me. I've been managing Aboriginal community here since '93.
Yeah, then we got the sky roll back down, and Will didn't really like that too much. To be fair, it was a bit like,
oh, I did not enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it.
I loved it.
You did. You were like looking out, and I was.
So there was a brand new walkway that opened that morning that we got there, the guy told us. And it's this beautiful viewpoint where you can see the waterfall, and there was a rainbow, and it was just epic.
It's all glass bottom,
Epic.
so you can see straight. You can see everywhere. It's brilliant.
In Cairns, there's this free public swimming pool, and it's like out in the open, and it's by the beachfront. Bats flying above, and there was like 4 other people in there and just us, and it was just dreamy.
Cairns was wicked.
Stunning.
We wish we could have stayed there longer.
But we went snorkeling there, and the guy was really lovely. We didn't have time to do his snorkel tour because we had to get back. And he told us exactly where to go, and he told us where the turtles usually hang out. So we went and we saw, for the first time, we swam with 2 turtles.
What a moment.
About to leave for our Fitzroy adventure. Weather's looking good. And Charlie is eating a hash brown.
The turtle hospital is in Cairns, I think, and the rehab centre is on Fitzroy Island. So we did a tour of the rehab centre and we saw this little turtle. So the lady there was telling us that most of the turtles are in there because they eat plastic, like plastic bags and things, and they look like jellyfish, so they eat them. And what happens is, because their stomachs can't digest it, their stomach releases some kind of acid and it makes them float. So the turtles just float, and then they can't, obviously they're easy prey, like their shell is their protection. Sharks can pick at them, or, oh, it's just horrible.
Horrible, yeah.
And it really made us, I mean, we were already obviously massively aware of what's happening with plastic, but it opened our eyes as well, and I had no idea that that was even a thing.
Yeah, when you see an animal firsthand suffering with it.
I know, it's really sad. But they do amazing work at the rehab centre, and she said that they even, some of them come and lay eggs on Fitzroy, so we have to go back and watch the babies hatch.
Yeah. So then we had the big drive up to Daintree, where we stayed the night, middle of nowhere, middle of the jungle, wasn't it?
The further north you go, the more little friends you get in the showers. So I had frogs and all sorts, moths and stuff.
You went off for a shower,
Yeah.
And then I was sat in the camper waiting, and then we'll take tag team turns. And I was sat in the shower, and I was sat there in the camper, and all of a sudden, wham! The door opened, and some random guy threw his shower gel in and jumped in. And at that point, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! And he was so embarrassed, bless him.
When you told me.
And then I realised, obviously, then when I went out for the shower, you run there and back because of everything flying at you, jumping on you, the frogs that are bouncing in front of you. So he was panicked anyway and jumped straight into the wrong camper. And there I was lying there in my boxers.
Well, good job you had your boxers on.
I didn't.
Did you not?
No.
Were you naked?
Yeah, completely.
And the guy...
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I was completely naked.
Oh my god.
Completely naked.
Daintree is the one place where mosquito repellent of any kind just wouldn't work. We went looking for crocodiles, so you can go on these boat trips, and we saw a couple of crocodiles.
It was kind of unfortunate but good in that a cow had
yeah.
died and had fallen into the river, so all the crocodiles were kind of making their way to the cow. So we saw a load of them, but also saw a big rotting, dead, smelly cow.
How did that cow get there then? Would he have
Drained it down or it fell off?
fall down? Jeez. Oh my gosh. Careful, Will, don't hang over the edge. God, so well camouflaged. What's he doing, that bird? What are you doing, mate?
He's looking for work.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to
Chat now,
move
y'all.
it. Oh, he's like, excuse me. That's
foot,
not my jam.
Left foot, right stump. Right foot, left stump.
After Daintree, we drove back down to Cairns and we handed our campervan over. That was a sad day.
That was.
But we then went to a really lovely Airbnb for 3 days and the woman was just so lovely.
It had air conditioning.
It had aircon.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bedroom. Living room, kitchen, beach view, gorgeous. Toilet in there, fridge, kind of a worky bit going on here. The outside, and a cat. Hello.
We went to go and see the bats. So something else we were told to go and do is go and see the bats. So we'd seen them flying around Cairns. They're called flying foxes. They're like, I mean, how big are they actually? They're huge. And I think they're the biggest bats. And they hang out in the day, they sleep outside the library. And you can see them all just hanging there. And so we went there at dusk and we just waited for them all to just wake up.
This is mad, here they go.
Oh my god. Jeez. Look at them all.
There's still loads in the tree.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
That's nuts.
Oh, they're all going that one as well.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
Go and find their pollen. And their
Look
nectar.
at them all coming off the trees.
Then we went scuba diving.
Yeah.
Which was my first time scuba diving. Charlie had done quite, how many before? A couple
Quite a
before?
lot. Well, I did my paddy. So for me it was kind of a weird experience. I wanted to do the beginner's one with you. You didn't really like it, did you?
It was one of those weird experiences where I loved every second of it but hated it, if that makes sense. Like I'm so glad I did it. It was so far out of my comfort zone and it felt so abnormal, but I knew whilst I was doing it, I was thinking as soon as I get home I'll kick myself for not doing it. I concentrated most of the time on not freaking out rather than just really I don't think I looked at the views that are under the sea. I was just concentrating on, you know, brief calm, because you can't just swim to the top.
No. Well, there was a girl who was like, I want to go up. So we
And they were great with that.
They were, yeah. But we did 2 dives. Well, I did 2 dives and Will did 1 dive. And the second dive was a lot more free.
Well, the second one you had a shark come up to, didn't you?
Yeah, so Will was snorkeling above me and he didn't realise it was me, I don't think.
No, I jumped in, dived straight in and was having a look around, I saw a shark and I was like, oh my gosh, shark! So I was following it for a little bit and then I thought, oh, there's scuba divers right there. You being one of them, I didn't realise at the time, so I was following this shark around and he was a couple of metres away from you.
Very cool.
He was friendly, that was alright.
And instantly, I thought, oh, I want to see another one. I want to see a big one. Oh, I saw a cuttlefish. So the woman was saying, you know those like white bits that always wash up on the beach? That's the inside of a cuttlefish. And it's really hard to see because they're so good at camouflaging. And cuttlefish do this thing where they hypnotise their prey and they swim up to them and then they're like flashing like neon lights.
Strobe colour.
When you're at the top, the colours are all really vibrant because the deeper you go, I think red disappears. Whereas snorkeling, you can see the array of colours.
It's just a whole different experience, but I'd recommend both. If you want to go for it, then do it.
Even if you're not that comfortable in water, you know, people were doing a bit of snorkeling and then they were sunbathing on the boat, they were having a snooze, they took books, because we were literally on the boat all day. And then that was it for our East Coast trip, and we headed back to Sydney. We flew back down to Sydney and explored Sydney for a few more days, met up with friends. There it is! Cheers for watching, everyone, and check out the other videos if you haven't seen them already.
I miss you, Gary, and it's while I miss you, Gary. I miss you, Gary, but I'll see you